Most of us live under the illusion that governments and elected leaders shape our lives. But what if the real power lies in the boardrooms of just a few corporations? Today, we're lifting the veil on 10 companies that quietly influence nearly everything, from the food we eat to the technologies that power our lives. This isn't a conspiracy. It's about following the money. Let's begin. At number 10, NVIDIA, the brains behind artificial intelligence. Once just a favorite among gamers, NVIDIA has become the heartbeat of artificial intelligence. Its chips are no longer just for rendering video games. They now self-driving cars and massive data centers. In 2024, it became the most valuable company on Earth, with a market cap over $3.6 trillion. AI systems like ChatGPT rely on thousands of NVIDIA GPUs. That's why some analysts now describe NVIDIA as the arms dealer in the AI race. And with over 80% market share in AI chips, this company is redefining the future of computing and investing. At number 9, Saudi Aramco, oil, power, and influence. Saudi Aramco is the world's largest oil company and one of the most profitable businesses in history. In 2023, it reported profits exceeding $150 billion, nearly triple that of Apple. It's not just a business, it's majority owned by the Saudi government, which uses Aramco's revenue to fund global investments and ambitious mega-projects like the futuristic city Neom. Whether you invest in energy stocks or not, the price of oil and your fuel bill is partly dictated by Aramco's production decisions. In the finance world, Aramco represents the intersection of natural resources, geopolitics, and public markets. At number 8, BlackRock, the giant behind your portfolio. BlackRock is the largest asset manager in the world, overseeing more than $10 trillion. They manage ETFs, pensions, mutual funds, and institutional investments across virtually every market. If you own index funds, odds are they're from BlackRock. With such size comes influence. BlackRock is a major shareholder in nearly every major U.S. company. Some analysts and lawmakers have raised concerns about how much quiet power BlackRock has, including their early access to Chinese financial markets. Still, they're central to how modern investing works, especially passive investing. At number 7, Vanguard, the passive powerhouse. Vanguard revolutionized the investment world with low-cost index funds. That simple shift now gives them massive ownership stakes in companies like Apple, Coca-Cola, and JP Morgan. Alongside BlackRock and State Street, Vanguard is part of what analysts call the Big Three, firms that collectively hold sway over more than 88% of the S&P 500. While they say they don't actively control the companies, proxy votes and board influence tell a different story. The passive investing boom has turned Vanguard from a quiet custodian to a silent kingmaker. At number 6, State Street, the quiet stabilizer. With over $4.5 trillion under management, they help drive liquidity in global markets and hold stakes in everything from banks to airlines. From Delta to Wells Fargo, their influence shapes pricing, policies, and industry direction. They've also been investigated for financial misconduct, including hidden charges to their own clients. While less well-known, their role in consolidating industries makes them key players in discussions about corporate concentration and economic resilience. At number 5, Comcast, the media pipeline. Comcast isn't just a telecom company, it's a global media gatekeeper. Through ownership of NBC Universal, Sky, and streaming services like Peacock, they control how news and entertainment reach millions. They also operate broadband networks via Xfinity, holding monopoly status in many U.S. regions. Critics argue this limits competition and raises costs for consumers. For investors, Comcast represents a vertical monopoly, controlling both content and delivery in the media world. At number 4, Walmart, retail's economic superpower. Walmart is the world's largest retailer and one of the largest employers globally. With 2.1 million workers and over $600 billion in revenue, Walmart dictates terms to suppliers across the globe. Their scale allows for low prices, but at a cost. Many manufacturers were forced to cut labor or move overseas just to meet Walmart's demands. This power over supply chains has reshaped entire economies and made Walmart a bellwether for consumer behavior and inflation. At number 3, Johnson & Johnson, Medicine's silent ruler. Johnson & Johnson is more than baby shampoo. It's the world's largest healthcare conglomerate. They own brands like Tylenol, Neutrogena, Listerine, and AccuVu, plus a massive portfolio of prescription drugs and medical devices. Over 50% of their revenue comes from pharmaceuticals, yet their branding hides behind familiar products. In recent years, they've faced major lawsuits over product safety, including multi-billion-dollar verdicts. For finance watchers, J&J is a case study in consumer trust, healthcare dominance, and legal risk. At number 2, Cargill, the invisible hand of agriculture. Cargill is the largest private company in the U.S., with revenue topping $165 billion in 2023. You wouldn't see their name on your food, but they control vast portions of the global food system. From grain to meat to palm oil, Cargill supplies ingredients to thousands of brands. Critics and watchdogs have accused Cargill of environmental degradation, labor violations, and monopolistic practices, though the company disputes many of these claims. Their reach makes them a key player in commodity prices, food security, and ESG investing discussions. At number 1, Nestlé. Profits from the essentials. Nestlé is the largest food and beverage company in the world, and one of the most criticized. The company has faced backlash for its practices around bottled water extraction, especially from public aquifers. In Michigan, it was reported that Nestlé paid as little as $200 per year to pump over 100 million gallons. Nestlé has also been linked in lawsuits over child labor in cocoa production, allegations the company says it's actively addressing. From Nescafé to bottled water to baby formula, Nestlé's brand portfolio is vast, and its influence on global nutrition, agriculture, and water access is undeniable. These companies don't just sell products, they shape economies, influence policy, and dominate the indexes we invest in. As retail investors, analysts, or just global citizens, understanding who holds the real economic power is key. If you found this insightful, hit the like button, subscribe, and comment below. Which of these companies surprised you the most? See you in the next deep dive.